Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo's unit of the Reek. And today we're taking a look at the Bergepanther, available to the 5th SS Viking Division. Bergepanther is rather simple. It's essentially just a Panther tank that's been reconverted to be an armoured cavalry vehicle. As the Germans were building heavier and heavier tanks, they needed heavier and heavier recovery vehicles to recover the tanks that keep getting knocked out or breaking down. So, the Panther was one of these designs. It was a big heavy tank that could move other big heavy tanks. They essentially just cut off the turret and put a giant ass wrench on the back to move said vehicles, and also a giant spade as well to help dig out vehicles that may have got stuck in the mud. It produced around about over 330 of these vehicles throughout the course of the war, and sometimes 2 to 4 Bergepanthers would be assigned to each Panther battalion. In-game, the Bergepanther is a 25-point armoured personnel carrier available exclusively to the 5th SS Viking Division, and it has one weapon. That weapon being, well, a 20mm autocannon. You got 120 AP shots and 120 HE shots. It's your pretty standard German autocannon, 45mm pen, decent fire rate, not a lot in terms of HE damage, but you shoot a lot of HE shells pretty fast, so it's not really all that bad. For armor layout, you got 80mm of front armor, Reek top armor, 35mm on the side, and 35mm at the back. In the miscellaneous stat, it goes 20km off-road, 32km on the road, very bad stealth, very low optics, and heavy transport capabilities. In battle, as a combat unit, the Bergepanther is really awesome. It's pretty much just like your standard autocannon vehicles that you get for Germany, but it's actually well armoured. It's not just a light armoured car. With 80mm of frontal armour, that will allow you to survive lower caliber AT shells and sometimes mid caliber AT shells, depending. It's a much better chance than having 20mm of frontal armour. And it's got an autocannon, and autocannons are always great in SD2, as they shoot fast and they cause a lot of critical hits, even if you don't get penetrating hits. And critical hits are extremely valuable in SD2 on the enemy, that is, as well you can get a lot of very good disabling shots on enemy tanks and other vehicles, and it's also good against infantry because high explosive shells. Can't go wrong with that. Autocannons are great. Pretty simple stuff. The real issue, however, is how you get the Bergepanther, because it is a transport unit. You can't buy it by itself. You have to bring in some extra baggage along with you. In the case of the Bergepanther, you have to buy rather expensive items such as pack guns, flat guns, and heavy artillery pieces to bring it out, which adds quite a bit of extra cost to this unit. So it can be hard justifying to take this unit, because to buy it, you're going to have to spend all this extra cost on something that you may not really need right now. Or sometimes you're gonna want to have just a heavy artillery gun, but you don't have to spend an extra 25 points buying an armoured personnel carrier along with it. And yes, I guess you could keep it at the back line and use it for its intended use of relocating your AT weaponry and guns and artillery guns, etc. But it's a bit of a race. You might as well just use a Multi Moon supply truck to do the same thing, and that thing actually supply all units. So that's really is the problem with the Bergepanther, is you just have to buy something extra with it, which is a little bit of a shame. It's a package deal, unfortunately. But apart from that, it's essentially just like a Canadian Kangaroo, but with better armament and better armour. It's a German, I was going to say Kangaroo, but it's a German Panther that's lost its head, and now it's running around without a head. And well, I'm going to leave it off. Yeah, this has been another Rangaroo's unit of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.